Hello everyone! In some of the previous videos, we discussed how to make a circular pattern and a pattern on a path. Now, the time has come to learn how to use the rectangular pattern. Here I have a simple sketch. The rectangular pattern tool is really useful when you need to copy some forms or sketch geometry in a linear direction. With this tool, you have control over the size and spacing of the geometry. Let's say I want to make a mesh or a grill. I'll have to make a lot of circles like this one here that will be the holes in my object. It would be really tedious to draw each circle by hand. But fortunately for me, Fusion has a tool that will help me, and that tool is the rectangular pattern. To find rectangular pattern, we go to create, and it is right here. I'll select it, then select my circle. Cool. In the dialog box here that appears, you can see that I can select the distance, distance type, quantity, but I'll tackle them one at a time. For distance type, we have two options, extent and spacing. Spacing is for when you don't actually know the overall distance or length, and it lets you select the distance in between each object. The extent option defines the total length from the first to the last pattern. You'll notice that if I press on one of those two arrows here and drag it, my pattern will appear. As you can see here, 45 represents my distance and 3 represents the quantity. I can modify the quantity from here, also from here, or by dragging this arrow here. Cool. Because the extent option here that I previously selected locks the distance, the first object and the last one will not move as I increase or decrease the number of objects between them. Now I have to select a direction. For the direction, you'll want to select a line or a linear path. I'll select this line right here. And as you can see, it went that way. Now I can move it this way. I can also move it this way, or something better. Here I have one direction. I can say symmetric, and it does the trick for me. You'll see that in this dialog box here, I have some options twice. That's because with this pattern, I can choose two directions. Another nice thing I can do with this pattern, let me modify it a bit so I'm happy with it, okay, is suppress some of my geometry. If, let's say, I want to omit some of the circles, all I need to do is check these boxes right here. If I want to keep them all, uncheck the suppress button and none is selectable. So I can go ahead and suppress those, or I could do this as well and this as I please.